What the hell?
All right, we are live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Hello, big social media. Hello, Parlor.
Yeah.
Hello,
JK. Lols. Are we ready?
Hold on 1 second.
Dang, Matt looks like a rogue agent tonight or something.
He does.
From The Division.
The Division.
Never understood why Captain America didn't have more like an American flag shield. Why is it kind of, what's up with that?
What?
I don't know. You'd think Captain America would have his shield would be more of like an American flag.
Didn't he go the old school Captain
That kind of looks
America?
like more like a Puerto Rican flag.
There was a Captain America that didn't have a circle shield, right, Matt? That he had the crest.
When he first premiered in 1941, it was more triangular.
Yeah.
Not a perfect triangle, but it was more triangular with
a crest.
Yeah, but due to another similar patriotic hero from another company who had a similar logo on his chest, they were forced to change it.
Wow.
And now you know.
G.I. Joe.
I hate typing URLs on my phone. Oh shoot, I nearly tweeted from the wrong.
Thanks for popping in, Facebook. We're getting ready to get this show started.
Okay, I think that's it for me. Let me put that in.
Ready to roll?
Yeah, let me get it up on YouTube. I said get it up. Okay, I'm good.
All right. Welcome to Anything New. My name is Pete, and as always, I'm here with Matt.
What's up?
And Opie.
Good afternoon.
Anything News, the podcast where we talk about anything new we've been using, perusing, or consuming. This is episode 25. A lot of good football going on right now, so we're going to try and make this a quick one. We got a few things to talk about. Another WandaVision episode. Opie wants to talk about the Tiger Woods documentary that's on HBO Max that I know I want to watch really badly. First, we're going to talk about that group watch that we had started to discuss last week, Outside the Wire, on Netflix, sci-fi, androids, guns, nukes, mechs, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Hot red-headed ladies, Opie.
Well,
she played the widow in Into the Badlands, and every time I saw her, I thought I just thought of you.
You wanted into her Badlands? I didn't recognize her, so I didn't know who she was, but I thought she did a pretty good job at it.
Yeah. No, it was good. So the group watch Outside the Wire, new to Netflix as of the 15th, so it's been out for a little over a week. Anthony Mackie, and I actually hold on, wait, I've got the other cast here. Damson Idris. I actually don't know him, but he stars as a drone pilot who sort of goes a little bit rogue, sort of breaks some commands, and is as a sort of not really a punishment, but as sort of a re-education assignment. He is assigned to work with Anthony Mackie, who, and this isn't a spoiler, this is just the part. This is the plot of the movie. Anthony Mackie is like a experimental android.
Yep.
Who was created to, as a way to try to change the face of warfare, I guess.
Yeah.
And they undertake a plot to overthrow, was he Russian?
The Russians.
They're Russian.
Yeah, they were Russians. Basically, super long story short, they were trying to get their hands on some nukes. And Anthony Mackie and Damson Idris, their characters Leo and Harp, were trying to stop them. And it was futuristic in that it is near future, so it took place in like 2035 or 36. So not too far off. Actually, it was a little bit a little bit too soon for my comfort, because I think about when we watched Back to the Future in 1985, and they said in the year 2000 you're going to have flying cars and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
I always sort of cringe a little bit whenever I see stuff like that that's set. It's like it won't be too long before we're in 2035 and we're still not going to have androids like Anthony Mackie. We're not going to have the Gumps that the military used. The Gumps were other robotic soldiers, but not super humanized. I mean, they were they're big and bulky and very, very clearly not meant to pass as humans.
Yeah.
They're used more as tools. But yeah. But what do you guys think? I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Anthony Mackie, better known as Falcon, right? From the Avengers movies. If anybody's listening and don't know him, he was Falcon in the Avengers movie. But just think of the Terminator, but super not robotic. Like, he is just like you and I. He has flesh and he can even feel pain, which we all know the Terminator couldn't feel pain at all. But he still can feel a little bit of pain, but still. Through most of the movie, he kind of explains why he is how he is, because there's some protocols that kind of happen. And Matt, you kind of touched on part of the movie is them stopping the Russians, but the main part of the movie, spoilers, is Anthony Mackie's character tricks the rookie or the agent into disabling his basically his failsafe. Yeah, his failsafe. So he can kind of go rogue and think on his own. So basically this android kind of has become self-aware and of what he's there for and what's going on around him. And he takes it upon himself to try and launch the nukes onto the United States to start a war to wipe out the military or what they're doing. Did you guys, that's basically what I pulled from it.
Yeah, it took me a while. I didn't really understand once the other shoe dropped and he sort of flipped the script. I didn't really understand his motivation until the end, when the rookie soldier put him down and on his quote unquote deathbed. He said, "I am the reason that we have to stop this." Basically, he was saying, I am the face of endless war. Meaning, if they continue with androids and soldiers like me, then war is never going to stop, because there'll be no reason to stop fighting, because
they're not costing life.
Exactly.
It's
so,
like
he had to show the world that these androids could be bad and turn on humanity, and that would hopefully slow down the advancement of these androids.
And it's like going back in time and stopping Skynet. That's what Terminator was about. Like, Sarah Connor sent, or her sons, sent the Terminator back in time to stop Skynet, and that's what would happen if we became a society full of androids. But that's the basis of the story. What did you guys think about the kind of the action sequences? I thought, like, all the mech and the tech and all that stuff was really cool. I thought it was done really well. Fight scenes I thought were good. If you're military movie, you're going to like this movie. There's a lot of gun. I thought it was kind of a slow build-up. Did you guys? It took a lot to kind of get your head around what was kind of going on.
Yeah. Like Matt said, like you don't really. I didn't really catch the double cross there. Of like what was going on. But I also wasn't real. I kind of went into it not thinking that it was going to be one of those kind of movies. I thought it was pretty straightforward from the beginning.
Yeah.
What we were getting into, like you said, the mech stuff was awesome. They did a good job. I like when they don't try and make the mechs do too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'll see movies where they try and make the mechs too human. Yeah. And it never works. This, like Matt was saying, they're more of like a tool, like just an accessory out there. Yeah, like rolling in a support gun, pretty much. You know what I mean? And they didn't try and talk or do too much stuff. They were just there for support. So that was really cool. The only thing that really bothered me was I saw the lead actor's name at the beginning of the movie, and through the whole thing, I kept saying, "Damn, son, every time like something like crazy would happen, because his name's Damson.
Damn
Oh, I
son.
get
So I kept
Damson.
saying, "Damn son." I just thought it was kind of funny, but I'd never heard this guy before.
But
it was good.
Yeah, overall,
good. I liked it.
yeah, I liked it. I would have probably watched it. Now the rest of the internet apparently didn't love it too much. It didn't
Really?
Yeah. Just far as like, IMDb give it a 5.3, Rotten Tomatoes 38, and Metacritic a 45%. So I don't know if a lot of people loved it, but it was a leading role for him, and I didn't have anything bad to say about it, but it is what it is. It was kind of there. It was a good movie.
Some of the like, I thought might have been watching a Deadwood episode. How many F-bombs were dropped in that?
Oh yeah, there was a lot, and he even addressed it.
Yeah, they even talked about it, so I thought it was kind of odd.
Yeah, at one point, Anthony Mackie, the super android, he's like, the rookie asks him, is like, why do you cuss so much?
Yeah,
and he says,
cuss so much. Yeah.
And he's like, well, I relate to who I'm talking to or whatever, so get the F in the truck is what he said or something. So,
I mean, it's one of those movies, we know it's not going to win any awards. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, I watched it and I didn't feel bad about it at the end. I would not watch it again, So there's it's one of those kind of movies. Like once I've seen it once, I don't have to go back and see it again. But it was worth the time to see, especially since we're in such a lull with being able to go to a theater. It's nice to be able to see a big full scale, because it felt like a movie that you would go see at the theater.
And again, you saying that, I was kind of thinking to myself on the turn of the page is like, this is a movie that with the ratings it got maybe wouldn't hit the theater, and instead of going to DVD or not ever seeing it on Netflix, it gives you the opportunity, more eyes to see this movie. But who knows? But you guys notice one thing, when the Ricky first meets the guy, he was listening to records. Isn't that like crazy how in a future, like in 2035, people are still, they think that they're still listening to vinyl or whatever. That's crazy.
I did see that. But one thing that really bugged me was it's 15, 18 years in the future, whatever it was. But like they were using like current model year vehicles.
Yeah.
Like not even like.
Yeah.
Well, so the
SUVs and stuff, where that was like a 2020 Ford Escape that they were, or a Ford Explorer they were driving at one
Pete,
point.
you're the gun guy. Were the weapons pretty much military spec to this right now?
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing crazy. There was a G36, an HK G36 was like the most futuristic looking gun.
Hey,
but that's a 15-year-old gun, but it looks futuristic. So that's why you see it in a lot of movies.
Are you talking about the last gun that he finally put him down with?
Yeah, the one where the sight rail comes over and comes down sharp.
But that was, of all the guns that he got shot with during the movie, that like put him down. Like, and I didn't like that sequence either. Like, he comes through the catwalk and he shoots him, and he moves and he shoots him, and he moves and he shoots him. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like he wanted
to be like an armor piercing round.
Yeah, it was less about the gun and more about the incendiary rounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
That were designed. I mean, they even said, these are designed to pierce armor and that kind of thing. So
yeah. One of our show fans, Henry, who's actually following us on Facebook right now, he chimed in and said he thought it was a decent movie. So just kind of want to add in that we got fans and they're watching the movies that we're recommending.
Nice.
So that's cool.
Well, that's the whole point. Is so we can all watch this stuff together and talk about it together. Just real quick, you mentioned about the cars. So I said I always cringe a little bit when quote unquote futuristic movies take place not too far enough off to where like we'll be there eventually, and we're gonna look back and say, oh yeah, that 15 years ago I watched this movie that said we were going to have androids that look perfectly human, and we still can't even get, Siri to work right half the time or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I did think that was, but then when I saw the current model cars, I was like, okay, they're not playing up this futuristic thing too much. But then the Gumps came out, and I was like, wait a minute, is it super future tech or is it not? I mean, did you notice this? You know what bugged me? And this is like the smallest thing ever. There were 3 different times in the movie, spread out, not close together, but 3 different times where there was a quick shot of the back of one of the armored vehicles. The door opens, 3 Gumps jump out and go to the right of the screen. They jump out and go to our right, their left. That I swear that was the same shot three times, just with three different backgrounds.
Probably.
It was the exact same shot every time. And
I know what you're talking about.
It was just three. I mean, it was just like blink and you miss it scenes, but 3 times that you'd use the same thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like about halfway through, I thought it was really bland. I was like, this is kind of like eating plain chicken without any seasoning.
It was. Even with the crazy fight scenes, like I honestly was playing Rust and had it on the second monitor, and I still know I got a deeper. I still know what happened, even the stuff you guys didn't pick up on. But it's still, I was like, I'm waiting for something. Like I know when a movie starts getting good, if I'm doing something, playing a game, and then I have to turn and stop playing to kind of focus on the movie. I never really felt like doing that during this movie, even though I wanted to see the tech and I like seeing the guns and I wanted to see the fight scenes. I would kind of glance over and watch that at the same time, but I was able to follow the story, pick up what was going on while playing a game at the same time. So, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know if it was the acting, or if it was just the storyline, or if the movie just didn't feel deep to me.
Yeah, they didn't introduce a lot of. There wasn't a lot of characters with a lot of dialogue. You know, it was like 3. You know what I mean? That was pretty much it. There wasn't a lot going on, except for a dude from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Euron Greyjoy, who was in it for like
totally forgot that. I was like, who is that? And that's Euron. Shoot. I was thinking of other. Of course, he plays bad guys in he plays crazy gangster guys and other stuff. But yeah, that whole, I don't know. He was just a reason for them, I guess, to get the nukes. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty cool fight scene though, when he flipped around and was taking everybody out around him at the end, you know, and he did the cliche sticking with the flag, his own flag.
Yeah,
and
that was
a little crazy.
Well, see, that's when the movie kind of started to get a little bit of flavor for me. Was the scene where they met the redheaded chick from Into the Badlands, and they went into that little market. And he kicked the guy through the door, and then he single-handedly took out like 5 guys. And I was like, okay, because before then I was up to that point. I was like, this guy is like this crazy advanced android, but he hasn't done anything spectacular. I wonder if he even can, or you know, does he have any special abilities, or is he just an android just so that a human doesn't have to be used for this? But then he's like, you know, taking out everybody, and I guess he's probably a little bit stronger than a normal human would be, and so I was like, okay, now that's the kind of thing I like to see. So that's when it started to get a little bit better for me. But I did think that I didn't necessarily see the double cross coming. I guess I probably should have. And you know, they went and found the bad guy in that building, and I was like, wait a minute, I feel like I've only been watching this for like an hour, and they're already about to get the nuke codes. I mean, this is a little bit weird. And then come to find out, the rest of the movie is about the double cross. So
I feel like we get so spoiled with these really awesome movie series and like short series now that can really take the time to develop stuff. Then you watch a movie like this and you're like, man, sometimes it's just things they have to rush through so much to pack it all into 2 hours. Or like, you know, if this could have been a 5-part 1-hour miniseries, you know, they really could have like went a little bit deeper into it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think about that all the time with the Daredevil series. Like, you know, all 3 seasons of that are what like 8 or 10 episodes or something. I can't remember the count. But that, you know, and as much as I think, gosh, I really want a Daredevil movie, then I think, well, this is like a 10-hour movie, and they have so much time to flesh out all these characters, put in all this story. Whereas if it's a 2-hour Daredevil movie, we don't get literally don't get half of any of this. So yeah, I think you're right about the series.
And just going back to Star Wars, I mean, that's what George Lucas did. Is the whole story he had written out, and he made the first, you know, the first 3 movies out of the most exciting part of it. Whereas, you know, if you wanted a movie from a Daredevil series or whatever, it would be cool to take, like, if they could intertwine and you could take a big arc of like one of the seasons or something, or I guess that's what season finales are for. Sometimes what we do 2 hours season finales sometimes to really they're the same or have the same quality as movies. But okay, nice. I liked it.
Yeah,
awesome.
I liked it. I didn't think it was super great, but I thought it was good.
Yeah.
When it was over, I was
a
like,
Netflix movie.
That was a fine movie.
Yeah. It was a meal
especially for being, you know, a Netflix movie that was just there one day. I could just sit down and watch it. I mean, yeah, it was fine.
That meal gave me zero heartburn, so that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah,
I just
zero
kinda
heartburn.
sat down, consumed it, moved on. All right, I guess is it my turn? Am I picking next
It's
week's
your pick.
movie?
Yep.
All right, so I apologize if you guys have seen this, but I have not, and it's sticking with the kind of same thing. It's recent, a couple years ago.
Wait, should we tell you if we have seen it? Should we?
I mean, you can. I mean, it's not going to affect anything. We're still going to watch
Okay.
it.
Okay. Maybe watch it again if I have seen
Maybe
it.
watch it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a 2018 movie, and it's on. I double checked it. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's Netflix or Amazon Prime, but 99% sure Amazon Prime. It is on Amazon Prime. I see it right there. Okay. So this is a 2018 movie written and directed by Jonah Hill. This movie is called Mid-90s. So this
I've
follows
Heard
Stevie.
of that, but I haven't
This
Nice.
seen it.
follows. So mid-90s. This is our wheelhouse, guys. This
Yeah.
is like this kid's a little younger than we were in the mid-90s. Like we were probably like 17, 18, like in 95, right around there, right? 16 to 18.
He's 16, yeah, sure.
I graduated.
Okay.
I graduated in 1996. I was
Okay.
so there you go.
Okay. All right. So mid-90s. This follows Stevie, a 13-year-old in the 1990s era Los Angeles, who spends his summer navigating between his troubled home life and a group of new friends that he meets at an Avenue skate shop. But this is supposed to be packed full. So Jonah Hill, he came on Howard Stern a couple years ago when he was promoting this movie, and this is kind of like a passion project for him because he loved the mid-90s era. That's kind of like I guess he was around 13 during the mid-90s, and so it's all about kind of that skate generation,
Yeah.
the music,
Yeah.
just everything, so I thought it would be cool because we always talk about that kind of stuff, and I've been wanting to see it, and I couldn't remember the name of it, so I kind of had to go back on Google and just type in Jonah Hill and see what he had directed, and it was this one. So
Awesome. Good
I
pick.
think it'll be interesting. It might be horrible. I don't know too much about
I think
it.
it's supposed to be pretty good from what I remember about it.
Amazon gives it 4.5 stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, good pick. I always intended to watch that when it came out, and then I forgot about it. So yeah, good pick.
Awesome. So mid-90s on Amazon. We're going to watch it this week and then talk about it next week. And so do that. Awesome. Matt, you wanted to talk on WandaVision? This is episode 3, right?
Yeah, 3 of... Shoot, I forgot. 9, I think?
3 of 9. Does it feel like it's... Because this past week, I watched episode 1. And I've heard everybody say, even some of my friends on Facebook have said, it starts off super slow. And
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Hang on.
I watched episode 1 and didn't really even want to make it on to episode 2.
Well, yeah, like we talked about 2 episodes last week. I haven't watched 3 yet. So tell us.
Yeah,
about
so it is
that.
9 episodes. So this is 3 of 9. Well, then I won't go too much into it. I don't want to spoil anything.
Sure, that's fine.
But I'm telling you, if you judge this series off of the first episode or the first 2, you are doing yourself a massive disservice because what this series is about. I don't know where I was going with that. The first episode and the second episode are not what this thing is about. By the time you get to the end, I don't know what the end is going to be, obviously, but it's going to be completely different. It like I said last time, it would be like watching the first 2 episodes of Lost and saying,
okay, yeah, that's
it was really confusing and not very good. But it's about the destination. Not
and that's what I was telling you last week. Is there is some things in the first 2 episodes that make me scratch my head, and it makes me want to watch the 3rd episode or keep watching it. And Lost is kind of the same way. It's like, what are they doing there? Same way with Wanda and Vision. What are they doing there? What is going on? How are they getting out? What's this weird stuff that's happening?
Yeah, so in the first 2 episodes, especially in the first episode, you get like everything. Oh, it's like this silly, Bewitched episode or I Love Lucy or whatever. And there's like maybe one little nugget of, wait a minute, something's not right here. And then the second episode, you get maybe like 2 little nuggets of like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. In the 3rd episode, it's almost like instead of waiting for the shoe to drop, the shoe is coming down very slowly. So in episode 3, it's like there's a whole sequence that's like, wait a minute, that's not, that doesn't fit in with this Brady Bunch sitcom that I'm watching. There's a whole bit at the end of the episode that just completely, ha ha, the music's playing and Brady Bunch this, and then all of a sudden it just stops, and then it's like, wait a minute, I'm watching something completely different. And so we are starting to get more and more. We're starting to get a little bit more and more clues, not even really, well, I guess clues, but also just hints that this something definitely isn't kosher with this. There's something definitely fishy with this thing that we're watching. I'll spoil a little bit for Pete. At the end of episode 2, she finds herself pregnant.
Oh yeah,
and Vision's baby.
Well, I'll just say that Wanda finds herself pregnant, and episode 3 deals a lot with that. There's a lot more about that in episode 3. This one's in color as well. So every episode is supposed to feel like the next decade of sitcom. So episode 3, we're like in the 70s Brady Bunch era. Even their house, like the staircase, looks exactly like the Brady Bunch staircase. And so we're in the Brady Bunch era for episode 3, and next week is going to be more 80s sitcom. I know we get into like 90s sitcom stuff. And so yeah, it's hard to talk about without spoiling anything. But I will say that there are more instances of, wait a second, something is definitely strange here. This definitely isn't just a silly sitcom, which we knew that from the beginning, but we start to get more and more clues. I'll put it this way, there's a 12-issue miniseries or maxi series, I guess, that came out a few years back called Vision, written by a guy named Tom King that I just read. And the show doesn't really borrow from that book all that much because it's a whole different story. But in that story, Vision creates a wife and 2 kids for himself. It's not Scarlet, it's not Wanda, and it's not, he creates them. But the point of that is, the first issue is like, oh, weird, Vision created a family for himself and they live in the suburbs and the kids are going to school, and that's weird. And then the second issue is like, oh, weird, Vision and his family are living in the suburbs. Oh, but wait, something weird just happened. And then the third issue is like, wait a minute, this is kind of getting a little bit weird. By the end of that 12-issue series, like all the Avengers are in it, and there's all this crazy stuff happening. So I guess I'll just say all that to say that series starts very, fun and, this fun family in the suburbs. And by the end of it, like the S has hit the fan.
Okay.
And I really think that this is going to borrow not that story, but that same mentality that the beginning is like, oh, this is super fun, and by the end of it, it's just going to be crazy off the wall stuff.
I hope so. That'd be cool.
But you have to stay on the ride to get there. You have to keep going with it. So,
and none of this stuff has been leaked. You don't know if the Avengers are going to show up at the end of this or anything. You don't.
I think they will. There's all kinds of theories based on stuff from the comics, but no, nothing's been officially leaked. And Elizabeth Olsen did say that episode 4, which is coming out next Friday, changes things up quite a bit, or drops some big hints or something. So I thought it was good. I mean, it's getting further and further into there's a scene with Wanda that's kind of ominous, and they refer to some things from some other MCU stuff, and it's if you stick with it, I think the payoff is going to be really good.
As a comic book muggle, will I know any of these references? Or I don't even really know who Wanda even is. I don't even I've seen her in like the Endgame and those, but I've never seen. I don't even know who she's.
You don't need to have read the comics to understand what's going on, because the story is contained in the show. But there are references to things that happen in the comics that sort of, if it helps you create all these theories about what might happen, but it's not a guarantee.
They throw some little nuggets out there for their true diehards.
Yeah. Okay. But it was good. I mean, if you've got to stick with it though. This would be a good one to binge watch probably, because But if they release it all at once, and there's no like water cooler talk, it's like you don't get to talk about it and theorize for a week. So I get it, but.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I liked it. I'm super on board. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Awesome. Well, I'll try and knock out 2 and 3 this week. That way I'll really know.
Because you're going to talk about it every week, Matt, aren't you?
I'd like to.
Okay.
I'd like to talk about it every week because it's it's the next big thing that's on, like the Mandalorian. That was this is the big thing that people are a buzz about on the internet. So
Well, I mean, in your circles probably, but I mean, this hasn't really taken off like Mandalorian. Like, I don't have like, I don't think I've seen one person on my Facebook feed talk about WandaVision, where like, it doesn't have a baby Vision that they can make memes out of.
It may have a baby Vision soon. She's pregnant in episode 2. There may be a baby Vision floating around in a little thing. Who knows?
We'll see. All right, let's move on. Opie, it's your turn.
Yeah.
You're my sports guy. We can talk sports stuff here.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods.
Yes, absolutely.
Greatest golfer of all time.
Question mark. Asterisk, sort of, whatever circle you run in. That's sort of.
I just want to put a colon in there for whatever reason.
Okay, but the Tiger Woods, everyone knows. Well, everyone listening hopefully knows he's a golfer. There's a documentary that came out on HBO. I watched it on HBO Max, and it's just basically called Tiger, and it just basically documents his life and how he became who he is today. And it's really, really intriguing. It's a really well done documentary. I won't go into a lot of spoilers, but as we talked about, we grew up through the 90s and the early 2000s. Is kind of when I was out of school. We were getting out of college about that time, and Tiger was red hot. Early 2000s, right in there.
Dominant.
He was so dominant. I mean, one of the biggest things I can remember is playing Tiger Woods golf on PS2. Was such a great game back in the day. But Tiger was a prodigy, and I want to back up for a second. Let me ask you this. Your guys' opinion in anything in this world, when you hear the word prodigy, do you think about someone that was born with a gift, or someone that if they trained from the day that they could, have motor skills till the day and it became good? Would you consider that person a prodigy?
I think a prodigy is somebody who is naturally gifted. Like
you wouldn't have to train, or there has to be some kind of...
You always have to train and practice, but you already are good at, like, your training and practicing is going to make you even better,
right,
than somebody who isn't naturally good but who just trains up.
Because I know that being in athletics, and I know and it's becoming, when we grew up, I know in my world kids played a lot of sports. You played Little League, you played football, you played soccer, you played basketball. Nowadays, sports have become so specialized. If you have young kids, that almost if you don't start a kid off down a sport and keep them in that sport, they can get passed over by a lot of kids that stay in one sport. And usually kids burn out a lot. And you see this, and this is one thing I picked up on the documentary, because I wasn't a golfer. I never touched a golf club until I think the first time I played golf was when I moved to Kentucky and was out of college. But that
still never swung a golf club.
But Tiger was a big reason that someone like me would watch golf. Why and why we would play a golf video game. You would have never, up until PS2, I never touched a golf video game until there was Tiger Woods Golf on there. I didn't play anything like that. But
Mario Golf?
No,
maybe Mario Golf wasn't around until.
Yeah, well, there was an NES Mario Golf. There was a golf.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, on NES.
Just golf.
Just golf. It was just called
Lee
golf.
Trevino golf too.
Yeah,
I had Lee
there was a
Trevino
couple of old school PC games too. But anyway, I'm just saying that one thing you learn about this documentary is how his father, from the day he was born, almost, I don't even want to use the word forced him to, but he had no other options than to play golf. That was the biggest takeaway that I really didn't know about his background, that from the day he was born, his father knew that he was going to play golf. And his father was a military guy, but he loved the game of golf. And, it was something that you don't realize of how much he has played golf up until the time that he became an adult and started winning. And that's why I kind of say people call him a prodigy, but he literally has practiced nothing but golf since the day he could walk. I mean, seriously, it even touches on some of the documentary about some of his school he asked one of his elementary school teachers to ask his dad if he could play a different sport, and his dad wouldn't let him do it. So there's a lot of other stuff it touches on that you hadn't really got if you hadn't followed him. Like some of the reasons that Tiger had his downfall was some of his his what's the word? How do we say?
Sex scandal?
Womanizing, yeah. And his sex scandal is womanizing. You can see kind of the way he was brought up and some things that happened involving his father that kind of led to some of that maybe, and just his, as far as social skills go and the lack of other social...
Was his mom around?
Oh, yes. His mom was, like, right there. Like, they said one time that his dad was really competitive, but his mom was the one was like, just step on their throat. It's like no mercy. Yeah, she was pretty strict. But anyway, if you want to know, or if this documentary, I'm just going to sum it up. It's saying that if you want to know the whole Tiger Woods story wrapped up in a bow, this goes from the beginning to the end. It talks about his early life. It talks about the time that he dominated golf. It talks about, it touches on racism, of course, how he kind of doesn't consider himself African American. He even said that he doesn't like to be called African American because he's not really African American based on his, his genetics or whatever. He's got a large mix of things that he even had a name for himself that he called. But yeah, so, and then it goes on into detail about, his scandal and how he had a downfall and how his body just broke down on him. Like literally he had no cartilage in his left knee.
From golfing so much?
Yes. Oh yes. From golfing so much. And he put, when he bulked up and started getting stronger, he started torquing like so much power on his body. He just couldn't take it. His back and his knee. And I heard last week when I watched this documentary, I listened to a lot of sports talk radio, and they said he's had his 5th back surgery now. So he's out again with another back surgery that he's had. But, it talks about all of that. It talks about his downfall and his comeback, his rehabilitation. Yeah. I didn't know about him getting a DUI and getting arrested for driving under the influence. Like he got pulled over.
That's when he wrecked. That's what started the whole scandal.
No, there's another one. There's a total other one.
Another DUI.
He had another DUI in the dash cam and the mic. He didn't know where he was driving a car. He was on 5 different prescription medications. And it was rough.
When was that? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
2009, 10.
Something like that. But so much it came out around that time. It's almost like the tabloids just had a field day. I thought it was so cool because, I was a big Tiger Woods fan, and then he started just being dominant, and I kind of didn't like him anymore. Like I wanted other guys to win. I was like, okay, we know you're the best ever, Tiger. Okay,
Tom Brady, let's
get over it. And then all the scandal happened, and then he took a break, and he came back, and he was horrible. And I was like, yes. And then I was like, man, we really need Tiger back.
Yeah.
Golf has kind of took a hit,
My little brother. Go ahead.
And then, not this past Masters, but the Masters before that, when he came out and he was just on fire, and it was like all my friends, we were all rooting for him. Me and all my golf buddies that don't like Tiger at all, really. We were all just pulling for him. And then when he won it, it was just funny seeing how, you can be the media darling, and then you can kind of get thrown to the wayside by the media. And then there's the great comeback. Yep. You know what I mean? It's just it's just funny how all that works. They'll cast you aside in a second for the headlines, and then they'll bring you back for the headlines, and it's just funny.
They talked about that exact thing in that documentary. So you'll really love the documentary. I was going to say my youngest brother, he's a really good golfer. He played golf in high school here at Southwestern. He, even when Tiger was coming up, I had moved back to Kentucky and he was getting out of high school, so we were kind of together for a couple of years living with my mom. And he was always a Mickelson fan. He was never a Tiger fan. He loved Phil Mickelson, and they were big rivals. It talks about how apparently Tiger was jealous of Mickelson because he came from Southern California. He had all those Southern California records, and that was he was overshadowed Tiger as he was coming up. But Tiger's mom, of course, Mickelson's left-handed, or he plays golf left-handed, and they call him Lefty. And apparently Tiger's mom called him Hefty because he was a little pudgy, you know. Oh, yeah. And Tiger was always jealous of people who didn't have to train and who were naturally gifted, where he had to train as hard as he had to train to be as good as he was or to maintain that standard. And that's why I kind of ask you guys about the prodigy thing. You know, do prodigies have to practice and practice and practice to be great, or are they just gifted to be great at something? And which is something that, you know, it's a good discussion to have. Because he definitely practiced from the day he could walk. Golf.
Awesome.
Golf.
That's definitely what I'm going to watch too. I got a few things to catch up on this week.
Yeah.
So.
That's great. It's great.
Awesome. Let's move on. We got pickups. Matt, do you want to do your pickups first?
Yeah, I just got one, just super quick, and I had to bite my tongue all weekend.
Oh.
But it's time.
What did you get? And then, you got it! Awesome! Is that the mini comic?
The mini comic collection. Yeah, dude, it's a little weird because
that's cool looking.
So like, I was a little bit surprised. So like, this is well, actually, I got this too, but I don't usually show off my comic stuff. But like, this is a regular size omnibus. I got this one this week too. But I didn't expect that this would be smaller.
Oh yeah,
but I guess it makes sense because there's a mini comic. But I mean, I
didn't expect it to be that thick though. That thing's a monster.
It's really thick. Yeah, like this is a smaller omnibus, but this is probably the size of.
I need to get this. Get that.
Yeah. It's. Let me see. It's. I mean, if you go all the way to the back, that has like some scripts and stuff in it. It's 1,200 pages. So yeah, it's pretty big. But I was just surprised that it was like smaller in size, like height wise. But yeah, it's got. I mean, dude, it's got like.
Flash that baby up here. Let me see a page. Yeah.
Like it's got like the old ones that are more like storybooks, right?
Yes.
But then it's got, you know, when you push on in later, they're more like comic book style, like the mini comics that came with the. So you get both of them, and there's just so many.
There's just something about that,
and it shows the cover. So there's one right there, and
there's just something about that Masters of the Universe art stuff, especially the art style, especially the stuff that they put on the packaging. They put on the packaging on the figures and stuff. It's so great. I actually was watching Pixel Dan's a YouTuber, and Pixel Dan published a book that's on Amazon about the Masters of the Universe action figures. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And he went to a toy store seeking out like a Holy Grail Masters of the Universe item, and I don't want to go too long because not a lot of people won't know what I'm talking about. Maybe some will, but the toy shop owner had a pretty rare item he got from the same collection, which is a Battle Cat and He-Man packaged in one box, like it was a gift set.
I saw that video. I didn't watch it, but
yeah. But I said that to say this is the artwork on that packaging.
Yeah,
had He-Man on Battle Cat, but also Beastman and Skeletor were on Battle Cats too. The same Battle Cat. Yes,
Beastman
and Skeletor were on the same Battle Cat as well. They were like all fighting on Battle Cats on the mural. So if you get a chance to watch it, basically the videos about the Holy Grail items, the collection actually had a. Do you know what the Wonder Bread He-Man is?
Oh, there goes Craig, production assistant Craig.
Production assistant Craig.
Try to get him back in here if you can.
I will.
Yeah, sorry, folks. Our recording software just crapped out on us. A big shocker.
But this is you can cut this out anyway. But it's the Wonder Bread He-Man. Do you know what that is? Have you heard of that?
Sounds familiar.
It was a mail away He-Man.
Now recording.
There you go.
It was a mail away He-Man figure that you could get, and I'd have to do a little bit more research, but people thought you mailed away to Wonder Bread, but it was called Savage He-Man, and it was made after the He-Man that's in that first comic where he comes out of the jungle. Like He-Man wasn't Prince Adam in the beginner. Right. And
that wasn't until the cartoon, right?
Right. He-Man wasn't originally storied as Prince Adam. He was storied as this savage Conan type guy. And he had, yes, exactly.
More barbarian like that.
Yes,
yeah.
and the figure looked like that. He had the brown trunks, he had the brown shoes, and he had brown hair, not blonde hair.
Yeah.
And you could mail away for him and get a little pack of weapons. But a lot of people thought it was Wonder Bread that you mailed away to, and they named him Wonder Bread He-Man, and he's the rarest of the rare when it comes to Masters of the Universe figures.
Wonder Bread.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah,
this is so this is, I mean, I typically don't show this stuff off, but like this is another omnibus I got this week too. But I'm getting this one out to say this is about the size of your standard omnibus from Marvel. Some are thicker, some are not as thick, but still, this is a little bit thicker, so you can kind of see.
Oh wow!
I didn't
but
know
it's
they
shorter,
were
just smaller.
That omnibus collection grow back there on the
It's
shelf.
looking
back there on the
awesome.
right.
Oh yeah, all
You
that.
see that?
It's that's yeah. I've got a whole bunch that I haven't shown. You know, I don't want to get collection shamed again. But,
Oh well, we don't collection shame around here, and anyone who does will get banned.
But yeah, but I was excited about this one because Opie, you and I have talked about it a lot. You know, it was on Amazon. We kept looking at it. It disappeared from Amazon for a while. And then when it popped up, I was like, it's not on sale like it was, but I'm really upset with myself for not getting it the first time. I don't want to miss it again. So I paid the full price for it. Not that it wasn't on sale, but it's so cool. I mean, I think, Opie, this really is something you need, even if you don't like read all the way through. Like, this is something you need in your collection. Like, you've got some cool He-Man stuff. You've got that omnibus now. You got the figures. I think this would look so good with it.
Yep.
So
You should bring that to HooperCon and let him kind of peruse through it and see if it's something
I'll
he
probably
wants to pick
buy it
up.
before then. I've been wanting that one.
Ooh, okay.
it does have sort of, you know, the old school artwork, but it's classic though. I mean, you know, it's just so it's
Looks
pretty
good.
cool.
Awesome. That's it. Okay, here's my pickup. So it's nothing too special or flashy, but it's I already showed you guys this offline, but I want to show this is my pickup for the week. The next Genshin Impact update is bringing controller support for iOS.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, like, Genshin Impact is a game that I've been playing a lot this year and the past few months, and it has been a little bit. It's so you can play it on multiple platforms, but if you play it on like your iPad or a phone, you have to use the controls that are on the display, and that's horrible. You know,
The touch controls, I hate that.
Such a good game.
Kids love it though. My son plays when he played Minecraft on his iPad when he used to.
Yeah.
Touch controls like it was no thing, and for me, it's like my thumb is sliding off, and I can't do it. Ugh.
Yeah, mine the
Well,
same way.
we're just a generation that's used to a D-pad or a thumbstick. You know, that's just the way it is. So, MiHoYo, who they're the company who makes Genshin Impact, they filed for 1.3, which comes out I think like 2 weeks. 1.3 comes out, and it'll have controller support for iOS devices. So I went on to Amazon and found this little thing. So check this out. I put my phone in it, right? And it's got a little stand too. You can fold that down. So this is a little stand for your phone.
Jeez.
You connect your PS4 or Xbox controller. Bluetooth.
Well, that one specifically is made for the Xbox, right?
This one's specifically made for the Xbox. They have one for the PS4, 5, I guess. I don't know if it's PS5, or Xbox. And you pick that up, and you can also, there's a ton of games that you can play already that have controller support for your little games. So there might be a long road trip or something, which unfortunately I won't be able to do that with Genshin Impact because you have to be logged into server to play. You can't play offline. But I might start looking for some little games.
Your phone's data, right?
Well, I'm saying like if like if I was going to be on an airplane, I would be able to play Genshin Impact. But I'm thinking, get me a little emulator on here. Play me some, Tecmo Bowl with a controller or some Super Mario Brothers while you're out.
To clarify, your pickup was just the clip, not the controller.
Right, the pickup is clip only. This is my personal Xbox controller that I try to not let my 13-year-old use.
I know.
Because he is just so hard on controllers.
Welcome to the club, brother.
It's like a death grip when he plays. He's like, and he'll hand it back to me, and like one of the bumpers doesn't work.
It's not even that. With mine, he's just so picky. He's like, oh, this controller A button's not responsive, and
it's got drift.
And this one doesn't. I mean, it just doesn't come up fast enough. And he'll go and like I've got the one controller I bought, like a $50 Xbox One controller. It's the only one that it's this one right here that I only use myself. It's not been touched. It's the teal and the gray one.
Hey, are one of you guys? Do one of you guys have the game on in the background?
Nope.
Opie?
Maybe. Can you hear that?
Because you've got to mute it.
Oh.
Production assistant Pack Rat says that he can hear sports.
Our buddy Pack Rat says he hears football. You've got to mute that stuff. I've got it on too, but it's muted. You can't watch. When you're streaming, you can't watch anything else.
That's okay. This is just the 25th week that we've done this.
It's okay. I mean,
it ironed out. Oh. Well, so that's my pickup. Opie, what about let's talk real fast about Tennessee football. I mean, you're all decked out here. What's your prediction on Tennessee's football coach? Because there's rumors of maybe getting back with an old fling, Lane Kiffin. Do you think that's going to happen, or is that ship sailed?
It's ships. Listen, we hired a stud athletic director, Danny White.
You did.
From UCF. He's a young up and comer. He's 41 years old. He pretty much he's. Let him get his headphones back on. Just a second.
What do you think about this, Opie? And then I'm just going to leave.
I'm just going to leave. Yeah, he's a young up and comer. His previous two stops was Buffalo and UCF. He's hired all the coaches, football and basketball there, and they just totally turned the programs around. People have described him as a Theo Epstein type of guy. He's a builder. He likes to take things from the ground up. They went and got him to kind of fix our mess that we've got up here, which is a total outside-the-box type of hire, which is really encouraging. If you've been inside the Tennessee, athletics and following as long as I have, I pretty much just live and breathe it. It's been a mess. We've hired people that have been inside the program. We've hired weak people who let boosters tell them what to do. We've hired people that we won't leave them alone and let them do what they need to do as far as athletic directors go. And this guy is pretty much a total. We've got new administration there. We've got a new chancellor and a new chairman of the board who made this hire. But he came out on his press conference and he used the word integrity several times, and he wants a character guy. So that's going to pretty much rule out Lane Kiffin or Hugh Freeze.
Integrity.
Or Hugh Freeze. He's wanting to find someone that he can build the program right, and it's a complete teardown. I mean, at this point, Tennessee football, especially Tennessee football, but Tennessee athletics now, our basketball program's kind of strong, but as far as
don't even look towards Cincinnati.
No, Napier, no, they've not. They said no. But there's just been some names floated about. He's going to hire. He's really good at keeping his stuff under wraps, which the other athletic directors weren't. They like leaking stuff just to either throw the fan base off, or we had Gruden, on the brain for so many years, which is just totally stupid. And nobody knows what's going on right now. Nobody knows who's going to hire. It's not going to be anybody apparently that we think he's going to hire, which could be good, which could be bad. But some people are looking at Clemson's offensive coordinator, the guy at Minnesota, PJ Fleck, but people kind of don't want him because he's a Butch Jones type of 2.0. He's a cliche kind of guy who has a lot of slogans and he's a rah-rah guy. But
like a Butch Jones?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Yeah, brick by brick.
455, 1042,
104. Yeah, Champions Alive, 5-star hearts, that sort of thing. PJ Fleck at Minnesota, he has a lot of sayings. Now listen, he's won 12 games at Minnesota. He's brought the Big Ten.
Yeah.
He almost beat Ohio State a couple of years ago. But he's definitely a motivator, but people kind of are all slogan down. But this athletic director, he's not going to listen to the media. He's not going to listen to Twitter. He's already addressed that in his opening press conference. He's like basically told all Twitter, because we've got a reputation of kind of being a Twitter mob when it comes to what the university is doing. But I'm excited. I don't know. We should know something this week, and maybe I'll talk about it next week if people are interested.
Awesome.
So
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. But I wish more people in my circle knew about Tennessee football in The Office, because that video I linked in our Discord about different clips of The Office and different coaches was freaking hilarious. If you knew what I know, I laughed and laughed. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Awesome.
I apologize for having the game on, guys. I don't even know why I'm watching it. It's pretty much over.
You're fine.
Yeah, it looks like it's. I mean, there's still 4 minutes left in the Bills-Chiefs game, but it looks like it's going to be the Bucs and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 2 weeks from today.
What about the Bucs?
Which is good. Which is good, because I wanted the Bills to win if the Packers won.
Yeah.
But we can't take any chances of Brady winning the Super Bowl. So now we have to have Pat Mahomes come out and save humanity and just end Brady's career with a Super Bowl loss to the future.
This isn't going to be Brady's last season.
You never know, man. You never know.
The only thing I hate about Brady, I'm not. You know what? Fine. Brady is probably the best quarterback ever.
He is.
But I don't love that. I don't like at all that Brady's going to the Super Bowl again, because now it's not going to be, one team versus another team. The whole story is going to be Brady's in the Super Bowl, and they're playing somebody else. We don't really remember who, and we don't even really remember what team Brady's on. But all we know is Brady's in the Super Bowl again. Brady's in. That's the whole story. That's all we're going to hear about 2 weeks from now. Brady went to another team, and he's 43, and he's going to the Super Bowl again. And it's going to be Brady, instead of these two teams playing for the championship. That just drives me crazy.
And what cracks me up is I have so many people on my Facebook who are now just like these huge Bucs fans.
Yeah.
And they're like former Patriot fans, but now they're like total Buck fans. And I'm like, if Andy Dalton would be in the Super Bowl for the Cowboys, I wouldn't like jump ship for the Bengals to go be a Cowboys fan.
I'm going to say I was a little bit like that, but I followed Peyton Manning from Indianapolis. I wanted Indy to do good, and then I wanted the Broncos to do good. But that's because I have roots in Tennessee, but I wouldn't do that with...
I mean, I understand following your team's quarterback, but I don't know that you should abandon your other team.
Right.
But you can still want your former quarterback to do well.
Well, sure. I would want him to do well, but I wouldn't leave my team for, any other player that left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's just 2 weeks from now, it's Brady in the Super Bowl. That's the whole thing. That's all we're going to hear. Brady in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs are going to be there too. Sure. Yeah, whatever. But Brady in the Super Bowl.
And Super Pat Mahomes is going to push his poop in, and Brady's going to cry on the sidelines like the little...
Well, this Kansas City defensive line better push his poop in. They're crazy good.
All right.
And, of course, it's got to be, now it is history-making because it's the first time that a team is playing in their home stadium.
Yep.
So that's pretty interesting. And, of course, it had to be Brady. So now that's going to, Brady brought the Super Bowl home. And, give me a break. He threw 3 interceptions today.
He did. Yeah.
Come on.
Like, if you were starting, I don't know. This is a discussion for maybe next week, since we'll have, it'll be an off week for football, right? Because there's Super Bowl is in 2 weeks?
Yeah, so we're going to have to talk about, we should maybe do the show 2 weeks from now, like maybe the next day, because
that'd be good.
I don't want to be trying to watch the Super Bowl
while
we're doing
this. We'll do it on Monday night, since everybody, we don't want to lose all of our listeners on Sunday night, because they're going to. That's rule number 1. You don't compete against the Super Bowl, if you're in the TV market. So you move that programming to maybe.
Or we could do it during halftime. We could be the halftime show.
Ooh, that's a good idea too. Like
I want to see the weekend.
The Bud Bowl.
Yeah.
They should bring the Bud Bowl back.
Oh, it's a good onside kick. Oh, we got it.
This is all stuff we can talk about next week. All right, let me hit on the social medias real quick. Let's see. All right, if you're on Twitter, anything newcast at anything newcast on Twitter. Our Instagram is anything new podcast. You can always drop us an email at anythingnewpodcast@gmail.com. Probably the best way is to get on our Discord because that's where we like to have our witty banter every day. So
That's right.
It's a Bitly link and it's anything new Discord
And the number one on the end. Yeah.
Anything new Discord #1. We got some people in there. We have some good discussions on stuff that we're going to talk about, stuff that we have talked about, and hopefully we start getting some things on. We might do a week where we have our listeners choose the movie for us.
Ooh.
Would that be fun?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that coming up soon. I don't know. So that's it. You guys got anything else before we take off?
That's it.
That's it. Go AFC. Go Chiefs in 2 weeks, I guess.
I guess so. I guess, yeah. You know, normally I would root for the NFC if Brady was playing the Super Bowl, but since now he's in the NFC, we got to root for the AFC.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week for episode 26.
See ya.
See you guys.
See ya. All right, Craig's gone. Thank you, Facebook, for hanging out with us. That's another episode.